back in April, the former CEO of PayPal came out swinging against the crypto universe, calling Bitcoin, quote unquote, the greatest scam in history, adding that it's a pump and dump scheme like anything the world has ever seen. You might remember he appeared on our show to discuss that. Now he's back with an even bolder call, saying Bitcoin is headed straight to zero. Let's bring in Bill Harris, the former PayPal CEO. Bill, welcome. Good to see you in person.
Thanks. You know, I'm delighted that you like buying into weakness because I think you'll have a lot of opportunity to do that.
Oh, yowza. Well, there you go. We'll see. The market will tell us.
So what's different this time in terms of your call? Before you were skeptical, you said it was a scam. Now you're saying it is going to go to zero.
Well, first, I don't make calls. I'm not in that business. And,
sure.
you know, I don't think I said it's going to zero. I said it's a whole lot. It's going to go eventually a whole lot closer to zero than a lot because there's just no value there. I mean, you can sum it up this way. The cult of Bitcoin make many claims that it's instant, free, scalable, efficient, secure, globally accepted, and useful. It is none of those things.
And this is coming from the former payments,
right? Listen, PayPal works great, right? I mean, the Russian hackers were able to buy all kinds of ads on Google with PayPal this year, so it works very well. And I agree with you. All your criticisms, 100% correct. But to me, as the investor, I say those are catalysts for the future. As those things improve, I mean, we're not going to stay at 7 transactions per second. We're going to be able to scale this. We have to. Otherwise, it is going to go to zero, like you said. But I guess my question for you is, let's take a step back from the trading of the token, because what we're really looking there is this liquid venture capital, right? And it could be worth 6,000, could be worth 20. But the idea that Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies are a software program that allows you to disintermediate parts of financial services, do you find any value in that?
No. And
I want to know why.
Well, I think the problem statement is correct. For instance, one of the things that people who love Bitcoin or XRP or something like that is look at how difficult it is to get money from one country across the border to another. It's slow, it's expensive, it's all those things. Agreed. You don't need Bitcoin, you don't need XRP, you don't need any of that to solve that problem. What you need is faster networks.
Well,
and in fact,
there's some regulatory issue with that, but people are still using it for that case.
Hardly ever. I mean, this whole notion of broadly accepted, globally accepted, all of that. I dare you to find places where you can actually use it.
There's about 200,000 places you can use it worldwide.
Okay.
And then there's also plenty of people that are using it internationally. I mean, Seagate Technology uses it to move money from their international subsidiaries to the
And
US.
what percentage of the total global flows is it?
Well, it's the investment opportunity, right? If it's a huge portion of the investment, if it's a huge portion of global flows, it's less interesting to me.
And
when
so,
it's old and boring, it's less interesting.
And so why in the world should people use it? What's the advantage?
The advantage, well, in the U.S., we don't really have a broken financial system. But if you're in a country that does have a broken financial system, that's certainly an advantage. There are other, it could be the Internet of Money if you're going across border. That's one way to use it. I mean, there's multiple
I'll
use
actually
cases.
point out that other major, the largest industries out there, the largest countries out there, China, now India, they have much better real-time payment systems than we do in the U.S. So does the EU, so does the UK. I mean, it's not like we've got something function and the rest of the world doesn't. No, actually, they're ahead of us.
Okay. Have a huge
but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that Bitcoin doesn't have a use case and goes to zero. I mean, nobody uses gold anymore, and it's worth $1,200 an ounce as well. So, I mean, and there's more to this than just this payment system globally, right? I mean, this is a way that you can have digital goods go from one place to the other. I mean, when they started at Amazon, nobody thought that you'd be streaming movies to a handheld computer. It was an online bookstore.
We've got digital currencies, and we've got digital currencies that are more stable, more widely accepted, and have intrinsic value. We've already got them. It's called the dollar, the yen, you name it. There's really... It's, as you say, not scalable. I mean, 7 transactions per second.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't scalable.
You said 7 transactions per second, which it is.
But I didn't say it wasn't scalable.
Well,
they're working on scaling solutions.
Fine, they're working on that.
Well, that's
7 transactions per second. Transaction per second. Visa does 50,000. Alipay does 250,000 per second.
There's coins out there now that'll do 10,000 and 20,000. I mean, this is the investment opportunity. I'm surprised, coming from Silicon Valley, that you're not seeing the investment opportunity.
Yes, I believe there's a heck of a lot of investment opportunity within financial technology. I've been doing financial technology for 25 years.
Right.
But what we do is we build things that are useful, that are better than the alternatives. And I see absolutely no reason why Bitcoin is useful. I mean, listen, its volatility alone makes it useless as a payment mechanism and ridiculous as a store of value.
But again, I'll go back to that's the investment opportunity. If you look at you look at oil, okay? Yeah. Oil's speculation to use case is about 96 to 1. Bitcoin's speculation to use case is 2.5 to 1. So as that speculation increases, the volatility will decrease, just like every commodity, just like every currency out there. And again, it goes back to, as an investor, it's going to be less interesting when it's less volatile.
I'm going to blow my figurative whistle at this point because it's been a great debate, but I want to bring some of the trade
I just have
questions.
One question. When you think about Bitcoin, it is a use case for blockchain technology. Amazon.com, from its highs in 1999 to its lows in 2002, lost 95% of its equity value. Investors were voting that there was no useful intent for this business model that at that point sold DVDs and books and that sort of thing. Now, obviously, and this is kind of making BK's point in a way, that's changed. It's one of the most valuable companies in the world. So it was just a use case for the internet. The token that was trading on the NASDAQ went to zero, right? But that obviously changed over the last 20 years. I mean,
listen, a lot of things have increased dramatically in value. That doesn't mean that everything is going to increase dramatically in value. There has to be something underpinning it.
Yeah, but
Bitcoin makes no revenue, no profitability. I mean, why in the world should be of something of value?
People were saying this about Bezos and Amazon and this dream that he dreamt up about e-commerce. I mean,
I'm not saying there aren't some fabulous visions in the world that should be funded, will be hugely valuable, and have staying power and legs. But you can point to use cases and why they are competitively superior to the alternative. In Bitcoin's case, I can't come up with a single one, with the exception of criminal activity.